He wasn't born into NBA royalty, he didn't go viral in middle school, and for most of his childhood, he was just another kid from Maine. But somehow, he ended up here.
With the first pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flagg from Duke University.
Let's rewind the clock. Newport, Maine. Population just over 3,000. A quiet town with more snowy days than traffic lights. And the last place you'd expect to find the NBA's next superstar.
To have a kid from Newport, Maine, be the #1 pick out of all the best non-NBA players in the world, I don't think anybody could have predicted that.
Cooper Flagg wasn't dunking at 12. He wasn't starring in national tournaments. He was just hooping in freezing gyms on cold wooden floors, usually with a twin brother next to him.
We'd be out there for hours on end, all summer long, just kind of battling it out and just making each other better.
Those were always probably the most competitive games. I don't think there was one time where we go out there and then it wouldn't end in a fist fight, someone crying, someone getting hurt.
But what Cooper had even then was obsession. He studied film before most kids his age had Instagram. He wanted it bad, and he was willing to work for it. At Nokomis Regional High, the legend started.
The legend of Cooper Flagg began to take off in Maine last winter when, as an 8th grader, he was dunking all over middle school competition as he played for Nokomis' middle school. Now, the 6'8 freshman is in his first official high school game later next week, and he's going into it as the most heralded freshman basketball player the state has seen.
Flagg led the team to a state title as a freshman, and the basketball world began to whisper. At just 14, Cooper wasn't just good for his age, he was unbelievable for any age. A 6'7" forward with instincts you couldn't teach.
With that length and that the size that he was at, he was moving like a coordinated small guard.
In 8th grade, he was already being compared to lottery picks. And then the Pangas camp. That camp changed everything. Cooper went from being a mystery in Maine to a must-see talent. Highlights of him swatting 5-star guards, throwing down dunks and running the floor like a guard went viral. Everyone wanted to know who he was, but that was just the beginning. He transferred to Montverde Academy, arguably the most elite high school program in the nation, a place that had already produced Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes and Moses Moody. In a gym full of stars, Cooper became the biggest one. At Montverde, he sharpened every tool. Defense, he became the best rim protector in high school basketball. Offense, the jumper got cleaner, the handle tighter, the passing more precise. And the competitive fire, that never changed. In every game, every tournament, every gym, he wasn't just playing in the game, he was taking over the moment. USA Basketball noticed. He made the U17 team as an underclassman, and what he did there cemented the hype.
Oh, baby! Cooper Allies, one more time in transition!
He led Team USA to gold, averaged nearly a double-double, set the tone on both ends of the floor, and by the end of the tournament, scouts weren't asking if he'd be a top pick, they were asking if he might be the best prospect since LeBron, and he wasn't even a senior yet. This wasn't just a viral run anymore, it was the birth of a new NBA archetype, a modern positionless forward who could anchor a defense and initiate an offense. Before Cooper Flagg ever played a college game, he had already shared the court with the best players in the world. Summer 2024, Team USA is gearing up for the Paris Olympics. The roster is stacked. LeBron, Steph, Tatum, and Bam. It was the Avengers of basketball. And yet, during their Vegas training camp, one name kept coming up: Cooper Flagg. Cooper was brought in as a part of the USA select team, a group of young standouts brought in to scrimmage with the senior squad. Most players in that role are just there to learn. Flagg, he showed up and started taking guys' minutes in practice runs. He was switching on to all-stars, knocking down threes, and holding his own physically, despite still being just 17. By the end of the camp, Flagg had gone from promising high school kid to "what if he was draft eligible this year?" conversations on ESPN. The footage went viral, the hype became real, and even though he'd never played a minute of college basketball, NBA front offices were already convinced he was the next #1 pick. By the time Cooper Flagg was 16, he wasn't waiting on the future. He was already in control of it. He reclassified into the class of 2024, and just like that, he was eligible for the NBA draft a full year earlier. But before the league could call his name, the college basketball world had a war to fight. Kansas, Kentucky, UConn, and then Duke, the same school that had shaped Tatum, Zion, Kyrie, now found itself chasing the most coveted high school player since Wembanyama. NIL deals were already being whispered in six figures. Brands wanted in, agents were circling, but the pressure, it didn't faze him. In October 2023, Flagg made his decision.
We got breaking news in college basketball. Five-star recruit Cooper Flagg has committed to Duke on a Monday morning for us.
The sports world exploded. Every sports page, every Instagram feed, every basketball podcast, it was all Flagg. Scouts praised his versatility. Analysts studied his every move. Fans began planning their 2024 mock drafts, with just one name at the top. And Cooper, he didn't say much. He didn't need to. His game kept talking. Cooper Flagg's first game at Duke felt bigger than basketball. The arena was packed, camera flashes popping, scouts and execs in the building. From the opening tip, you could see it. The way he moved, how he read the game, how locked in he was on both ends. He didn't look like a regular freshman trying to find his footing. He looked like a player who already belonged on the next level. He moved with the control of a seasoned pro, saw the court 2 steps ahead, and played defense like every possession was life or death. And when the moment called for it, he delivered.
Flagg gets it up there and hits it, a triple!
Every game became an event. Sold-out arenas, scouts from all 30 NBA teams in the building. Even Coach K made a few surprise visits. And through it all, Flagg never cracked. He was blocking point guards at the rim, playmaking like a guard, and scoring with a bag nobody expected from a kid who grew up in rural Maine. He made an impact that went beyond the box score, changing how teams prepared for him. And yet, it wasn't just the box score, it was how he impacted winning. He controlled tempo, he erased mismatches, he made 5-star teammates better, and he wanted the smoke. His biggest statement? A cold January night against Notre Dame. Flagg exploded for 42 points, breaking the all-time ACC freshman scoring record. He added 6 rebounds and 7 assists, leading the Blue Devils to an 86-78 win over the Fighting Irish. It was the first 40-point game by a Duke freshman since J.J. Redick in 2006. By March, there was no doubt. Flagg wasn't just a top pick, he was the pick. Teams at the bottom of the NBA were tanking games they could have won, just for a chance. Then came the lottery, the anticipation, the moment, and finally, the draft night.
Number 1 overall pick, what is hitting you the hardest in this moment?
I think it's just the emotion of this night, you know. There's so much anticipation, so much build-up, and I think just being in this moment, you know, seeing my mom cry, hugging my family, talking to my brother, like, it's just a surreal moment that you see so many people go through it each year, and it's crazy.
And it wasn't just any team. It was the Dallas Mavericks, a franchise that had just made the most controversial move in recent NBA history, trading away Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Breaking news on SportsCenter this morning, the Lakers and Mavericks making it a blockbuster night. Luka Doncic headed to the Lakers, Anthony Davis headed to the Mavericks.
Luka was everything to Dallas. The franchise cornerstone, the icon, the reason fans still believed. So when Nico Harrison, the Mavericks GM, flipped him for an aging Anthony Davis, fans were done.
This is the worst moment in the history of my life. This is ridiculous. This is crazy, man. We went to the NBA Finals. Why are we trading the best player, the franchise player?
Social media was on fire. Talk shows roasted the front office. And inside Dallas, it felt like the soul of the team had been ripped out. At first, Anthony Davis looked like he might help Dallas stay competitive. But then, disaster. AD went down with another injury. A few weeks later, Kyrie Irving suffered a season-ending injury too. The Mavericks completely collapsed. They fell out of the playoff picture. The city turned against its own team. But then came the lottery. Dallas had almost no chance. just 1.8% odds to land the number 1 pick, and somehow they did.
The second pick will be made by the San Antonio Spurs.
That miracle pick turned into Cooper Flagg. Dallas fans had just watched their franchise get gutted. Luka was gone, nobody trusted the front office, people were canceling season tickets. But then somehow they won the lottery. And when Cooper's name was called, everything shifted. It didn't fix the trade, it didn't erase the anger, but for the first time in months, fans actually had something to be excited about. Dallas wasn't dead. Not yet. Every great NBA story has its origin. Michael had the cut, Kobe had the fire, LeBron had the weight of a city. Cooper Flagg, he had nothing but belief. No basketball royalty in his bloodline. No AAU hype machine handing him a golden ticket. Just a hoop, a cold driveway, and a dream too big for most kids from Newport, Maine, to say out loud. The NBA isn't just witnessing the rise of a player, it's witnessing a shift. A 6'9" defensive genius with the vision of a point guard, the shot of a wing, and the motor of a dog that refuses to lose. Cooper Flagg is proof that greatness doesn't need a blueprint. You don't need a famous last name, you don't need millions of followers in 8th grade. You just need an obsession, and a refusal to back down from anything. The NBA isn't built for players like Cooper, it's built by them. The quiet killers, the obsessed misfits, the kids who were never supposed to get here, but always knew they would.